So I've already covered my eyebrows, and then I'm taking the Kryolan TV paint stick in the colour NG1 and beginning to carve out my features. So under the cheekbones, cut some of that forehead off. I'm not really too worried about the forehead though, as the lace front's quite dark and almost acts like a contour if you like. Then go in with the TV paint stick in the colour TV white. I don't know if it's any different to the normal white, and I'm going to highlight my cheekbones with that colour, as Acid Betty's got quite white cheeks, so it's just easier to use as a base in white. Then I'm taking my normal foundation colour, which is 2W, and sweeping that and putting loads of that across the rest of my face. I actually used a lot less than normal. I'm still avoiding my eyebrows though, as I like to go in and do those last. Then I'm going over with a Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and beating that into my face to blend it nicely. Use the damp, because otherwise it will just suck everything up and you will lose coverage. I didn't use this damp, so it did suck up a lot of the product, and my foundation wasn't as heavy as what it would normally be. Then I'm taking 2W once again and really gently throwing that over my eyebrows. I don't really like doing it straight out of the stick onto my brows, because I find it pulls the glue up a lot. Then take any powder you like, and I'm using a clean Miracle Complexion Sponge that I just used for powder, and set in my base. As it's a cream base, it will crease, it will sit in your fine lines, your pores, and it will look horrible if you don't set it. So make sure you absolutely cover your face in powder. Using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in light, I'm taking a normal cosmetic wedge and just beating that over my eyebrows just to add a little bit of highlight and colour. Then sweep off any excess powder that you've got with any like powdery brush if you want. Up to you though, you can leave it to cook. Using Kryolan Super Colour in 070 White, I'm going to apply this as an eyeshadow base. I wasn't really sure how high it would be, so I just sort of took it over my natural brow up to that sort of height and set that with Sugar Pills eyeshadow in Taco. Make sure that's nice and white and opaque, and the eyeshadow will even out the coverage, so don't worry too much. Sugar Pills eyeshadow in Dolly Pop for my eyebrows. This is a freehand eyebrow, and if you watch my kimchi tutorial, you know I like to apply an eyebrow very, very messily. These ones didn't come out too bad as they were nice and thin, but I'll normally throw them out messily if you're not experienced with eyebrows, and then go back in with your base colour and carve out the shape. It took a few layers to get this super opaque, and Acid Betty has quite high eyebrows in the trailer for Drag Race, so I've taken them up quite high, and I really was happy with the shape, which makes a change because normally I'll wipe eyebrows off and have to carve them for ages, but these ones I didn't. Then take any pen eyeliner and draw yourself a really long, thick flick of eyeliner. This can go as high up angly as you want it. I didn't go as high as what Acid Betty had it in the trailer, just because I didn't think it would suit me as much, so I kept mine a bit more normal, if you like, a bit more wearable. Then I'm going in with the Sugar Pill eyeshadow in the colour Butter Cupcake, and I'm going to apply that over the liner that I've just drawn slightly above it, and bring that round and follow the shape of the liner. You may need a few layers of that to get it nice and opaque. So once you've done that, you can take Midori eyeshadow by Sugar Pill, which is their green colour, and apply that above the yellow that you've just applied. And that again will take a few layers to get super opaque, because it tends to blend out and be a bit of a limey green, which we don't want. We want more of a sort of a deep foresty tree green. So just keep working with it and it will get more intense. I made that end quite thick. I sort of thickened up the ends as I went along, and then I'm taking a MAC 217 and more of eyeshadow Taco by Sugar Pill, and starting to slightly blend out the green and the yellow, especially in the inner corner. Don't worry so much about the brow highlight. Then you can go in and neaten up your liner. Taking the Kryolan eyeshadow in the colour Sparkling Silver, I'm then dabbing that under my brow and above the green as my brow highlight. Probably not the best thing to use if you're not great at covering eyebrows, because it does show the texture, as you can see. Taking 070 once again, I'm going to put a little bit on a brush and sweep that under the liner I've just drawn, which is great because I'm not so great with eyeliner, and that will sharpen it up nicely. Going back in with your liner pen, leave a little space, like a couple of millimeters of white, and then draw another line in which connects up to your lash line, and then I took this sort of a third of the way in under my lash line as well. Going back in with Sugar Pills eyeshadow in Midori, I'm then going over that liner and giving it a bit of a green tint. You can't always see the green tint, but that's sort of the look I was going for. It just sort of shows up every now and again, gives a bit of a pop of colour under the eyes. Looks really, really nice. Back to my eyeliner pen once again, extend the inner corner and draw a nice sharp point, and then take this in to another third, so you've got about a third of your eye left, as you can see here. Colour that in, make that as sharp and intense as you like. The higher your liner, the further you can get away with bringing in this sort of line, really. Mine was just sort of enough, I think. Then it's time for eyelashes, so I'm taking the Eyelure 301s. They're not as big as a regular 301, but they look great on camera. And then I put another pair on top as well. Then I just took some cheap, I think they're like Superdrug brand eyelashes. They are awful, but they work for what they need to work for, and put those on the bottom. Line my eyes with white, which I never show on camera because I know some people don't like it, and then blended in my natural lashes with MAC's Extended Play Mascara, simply because I like to apply my lashes slightly higher so they don't touch my lash line. Going in with Benefit's Hoola Bronzer, I'm going to be giving myself some nice brown lines on my face. I'm not going to call it bronzing or contouring because it's brown lines and it's very, very visible, but from stage purposes it would look fantastic, and Acid Betty's contouring was quite intense, but then hers is a lot more pink, so I'm going over with a MAC blush in Dolly Mix with a tiny amount on my brush, and pretty much going over the line that I just drew, and then highlight with Sugar Pills Taco eyeshadow once again, so you've got a Neapolitan ice cream look on the side of your face. Trixie Mattel has nothing on me. Nice and intense for stage purposes, obviously shade it down a bit for camera work. MAC lip liner in Night Moth, I'm going to be overdrawing my lips quite a bit this time and giving it quite a sharp Cupid's bow. This doesn't need to be neat for now, just sort of get the basic outline of your lips how you want them. And then this bit didn't film very well, but I'm taking the Colourpop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Buds, and I'm going to apply that on my lips. It's a really bright, vibrant pink, perfect for Acid Betty. You could use a Sugar Pill eyeshadow if you don't have it, but I used this as it's nice and affordable. Then you can go back in with the MAC lip liner and redraw in your lips, and you are done. Again, if you want, you can then top it with a nice UV dress. Mine is from Killstar, plenty of earrings and a lace front wig. So I shall see you next Monday with my next instalment of my RuPaul's Drag Race series. Take care and goodbye.